Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Karina from Diem Thrifts. I was looking through my Poshmark app this morning, just checking to see what's been going on, if I got any offers, if I got any sales or anything, and I noticed that Poshmark just released a new feature. If you look at the top of your search bar, there's a little box at the edge of the search, and there's a little Poshmark logo inside, and this is called Posh Lens. I don't know if they've been talking about adding this feature or what, but I'm actually really excited about it. I use Google Lens religiously when I am thrifting, when I'm out sourcing, trying to find information about an item, whether I'm trying to find like a stock photo or if I'm just trying to look up comps. So I think having this feature built directly into Poshmark is going to just save a bit of time. As I've been using Google Lens for like the past year or so, I've noticed there were features that I wish it had that would make searching easier. For example, if I'm searching a pair of jeans on Google Lens, it's just gonna pull up like jeans from any brand, any maker, anything. And so it's really hard to really dive into and narrow down that search. However, with this new Posh Lens feature, I think it's gonna solve that problem. So I'm gonna try it out really quickly here and show you how I'm doing it. If I click on Posh Lens, I'm going to upload a picture of, let's just pull these jeans right here because I have a photo of them. These are by the brand Torrid. I don't know if Posh is going to be able to pull that up. No, see, it's pulling up men's, it's pulling up women's. They're all kind of the same, but not great. So I'm gonna go here to all. I could go to women. Oh, and it only does sizes. Okay, maybe they'll fix this in the future, but I was hoping that I would be able to like pick the brand. Poshmark, if you're watching this, add a brand and maybe like color feature, like toggle on here so that we can search specifically with brands. That was the one thing that I was kind of like, I was hoping that this would fix, but it's okay. With all new features that Poshmark puts out, it's gonna take a bit of time for the algorithm and for Poshmark to make adjustments necessary to get the features to work the way that we need them to as buyers and as sellers. So I'm gonna give it some time. Hopefully they will iron out some of these kinks. I still think that it is a great feature to have. While I was playing around with this new feature this morning, it got me thinking about the use of stock photos. I know that we're not supposed to use stock photos as resellers. I get it. It is copyright infringement, right? Or trademark infringement, one of those two, because technically those photos are not our property. But just think about it, okay? I use stock photos. If I know that the brand doesn't like me using stock photos, then I just won't use stock photos for that brand, or if I can't find it. But if I can find a stock photo, I will add it. And I think that while people are scouring the internet, if they see something, they're just gonna screenshot stock photos and they're gonna put it into Posh Lens. And so Posh Lens is obviously going to pull up items with stock photos on them. So that's just my devil's advocate take on why you should use stock photos. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. This is just my personal opinion. You don't have to use stock photos, but I think with the use of Posh Lens that people are going to be searching stock photos more with it. So if your photo has stock photos in it, then it could benefit. Another issue that I'm hoping Poshmark will fix as time goes on is I'm pretty sure that Poshmark is only pulling up items that have matches with the cover photo. So if the photo doesn't match the cover photo, even though it's like the same item, it won't pull up. So if you have like a stock photo but it's like the last photo or something, it might not show up in search. So hopefully in the future Poshmark will make it so that it'll look at all of the photos in the listing and give the most accurate ones. Also have like brand drop downs and any other feature drop downs that we might need just to narrow that search a little bit more. But again, I just think it's a good option to have stock photos when you can because of searches like this. And this leads me to my next topic. I offer personal styling services in my store. I also follow a lot of personal stylists on TikTok, and one of the general like ways that we style people is by getting inspiration from places like Pinterest. So one thing that I was thinking of is like, oh, when I have a personal styling client and we draw up a Pinterest board with all of these outfit ideas, I can now take those pins and put them into Posh Lens and see if I could find those items on Poshmark. It's gonna save so much time versus me going thrifting for items where I may or may not find those specific items, or at least similar items. So from a buyer's perspective, this is gonna be like a way easier way to shop instead of having to search keywords, especially when a lot of people don't really know a lot of keywords, both on the buyer side and on the reseller side. Being able to search an outfit, like say I follow an influencer and I really like her outfit, I can screenshot that photo, put it into Posh Lens, and I can find similar items secondhand. There are just so many cool features for this from the buyer side, from a personal stylist side, and from a seller side. So I'm excited to kind of test it out and see how it goes, see how it helps my business, hopefully. But I'm also curious to see how it helps with sales, and also if it encourages sellers to style their listings. This is something that we used to do like back in 2016, 2017. I don't know, people probably still do it, but like we would like style our photos. We would be selling a shirt and then we'd pair it with jeans, or like make a whole outfit, create a flat lay and list that. I stopped doing it just because I think it takes too much time to do that for every single item, plus the singular photos for each piece. So I stopped doing that. I only do that for like Instagram on my shop when I'm trying to like sell an item and style it. But it could help maybe if somebody is looking for like specific styles. I hope this is making sense, but I'm just real curious. I recently got a chance to speak with Team Posh about the Poshmark Promoted Closets beta program that I was a part of, and I'm still planning on making a whole video talking about like the whole experience. I had to take earlier of this week off because it was my daughter's birthday, and I wasn't even planning on making this video, but I saw the feature and I wanted to chat with you guys about it. But I talked to Team Posh about it and they were very receptive to feedback that I had, and I'm still trying it out. Right now I'm paying for the beta. This whole first week of me paying, I have not made a single sale through Promoted Closets, which I think is interesting, but again, I'll make a whole video about that later. I was explaining to Team Posh that it kind of doesn't make sense for us to see the impressions or the clicks that we get on an item when we promote an item through the Promoted Closets thing if we don't know how many impressions or clicks we get on an item that isn't promoted. And I think that this search would also be cool to see impressions, and just in general, I want to see how many impressions my listings are making. I want to see if they are being seen through search, through people's feeds, through parties, through Posh Lens. Like if we could have that data, I think that would help us all so much. I don't know how much work that's gonna take. Posh did say though that they do have that data already, they just don't share it with us, so it would be cool to see. I think it would be like really helpful if we could see where our items are being seen, if Posh parties even help, if sharing our closet even helps, if Promoted Closets are worth it, if this Posh Lens is benefiting us at all too. Because if we don't see that data, there's not really a way for us to know if it's worth it for us to make changes to our listings, or if it's worth it for us to, you know, pay for these other ways to get our items seen. With Posh Lens though, I'm really curious to see how many people are going to choose to use Posh Lens versus just traditional search, because if people are leaning more towards Posh Lens, does that mean that we're not gonna have to like beef up our listings as much with SEO or any of that? It's really funny. Now that I'm thinking about it, Promoted Closets is all about SEO. It's all about adding those right keywords that are going to match with somebody else's search, while Posh Lens is all about the image and making sure that that image is exactly the same as what people are searching. So not only are we having to beef up our titles and our descriptions and really pack those up with keywords, but we also have to make sure that our pictures are on point. This is why I think that it's also important if you have just like a plain background when you're taking photos. I always use stock photos, however I do add my own photos and I just take photos inside of a light box. I have a whole video on how I list, so if you guys are interested in that, I will link that up here. Yeah, there's a lot of changes that are happening with the Poshmark app and with just Poshmark in general. I'm sure it's because of the company selling and this new kind of owner wanting to make adjustments. Hopefully that will help us, but I've definitely noticed a decline in my sales this month, and I am really curious as to why. I wish I had like if we had all this data of impressions and like click-through rates and all of that, it would just make this job a lot easier for us. So all the features, they're great. It's great that Poshmark's introducing all of these new things, but it's also not helpful if we don't really know if it's working or not. So that is pretty much the essence of what I wanted to come on here and talk about. Just gonna keep it short and sweet. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried out Posh Lens yet? Have you tried out promoted closets? Let me know what your thoughts are, and we will chat later. I'll be back next week with better videos, I promise. I just had to take a little week off, but hope to see you guys next week. Bye! Thank you.